What's going on, y'all? This is Venk Patula. You guys are watching the Venk Patula Comedy Show, and I am here with my very special guest, Ariel Hariston, founder and editor-in-chief of Pashionistas online magazine. And more than that, she is currently the hit creator and director of the new web series called Outlandish, which you can find on YouTube right now. Check it out, links below. So we're out here, and I'm just gonna have a quick conversation, quick chat with Ariel just about her inspirations, where she found it, how she found everything, what the struggles are, and we're gonna talk about the industry and diversity, okay? So let's get started. How did you get in the film industry? Where's your background from?
Okay, so I went to a school that none of you have probably ever heard of called Valdosta State University. It's in South Georgia. And actually I initially was going into English. I was an English major because with like Pashionistas, I like to write. I think that's still my strongest skill. And then I was just like, I don't want to do this. So I wanted to do mass media, which is all encompassing, everything dealing with creativity. And that's when I found my love for film. And that's when I realized that that was what I ultimately wanted to do.
Man, so let me ask you this. Was there a moment, was there while you were, because it's similar, but it seems like that's a big change to go completely from, you know, being an editor and being a writer to using film as your medium. Was there a movie you saw, or was there what was the moment?
I mean, I think it was honestly just getting behind a camera. With writing, it's like you're telling a story, right? A lot of the time. But with like film, it's visual. To me, it brings it more to life. Like you can write it and that's fine, but then film takes it a step further and brings it to life.
Right.
And that's something that I didn't realize that I do want to take it a step further. I didn't realize that I do have that interest. And sometimes it kind of does just take doing it to realize that you love it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. I'm with you on that. Okay, so first, so when did you start Pashionistas? Because that's obviously all text. Well, now obviously introducing your web series with video. So how did that start?
So with that, I was the president editor-in-chief of an online magazine in college called Her Campus. I founded the Valdosta State chapter. I'm sure any woman in college, she probably has one at her school, so she knows what I'm talking about.
Right.
But
I'm a guy. It's okay.
I'm sure UCLA, I'm sure has one.
We got one.
And so I did that, and then that's when I realized that I really wanted to do that. And my mom was just like, "You should start your own. Like, you could do this." So it is. We write about it's all women. No offense.
No. We should have more women. We need to have more women voices right now.
And we write about things that we're passionate about. Obviously, hence the name Pashionistas. And it relates to race, gender, women's issues. Obviously with gender, some politics on there as well, and LGBT issues. And so it's just like a place for women who care about those things to be able to go to, because like with Her Campus, it was just about like fashion and like, you know, like college stuff, but like boys and stuff like that. And I'm like, there's so much out there that's already like that. Right. Why don't we talk about things that actually matter, you know?
Well, I've read your articles, and they really are. They do talk about things that matter, and they're very, it's mature, you know, and we're mature people, you know? We're exposed to everything now, so we're not just gonna sit here and watch 6-second comedy vines, although I do love those, but having some content that actually matters to us, you know, us obviously, you know, being millennials, being young people, but specifically for women, which is what you do, that is really important. And it looks good too. Like I was looking at the design and everything, I was like, it's all placed, like it looks super legit. You guys.
I actually do. I do a little web design, so I designed it myself.
There we go.
So
she does it all.
Yeah, like so yeah, I designed it myself. I do coding, so because it was just like, I don't have any money. I'm gonna do the graphics myself. I'm gonna design the website myself.
How did you learn that? How did you decide how did you decide to do that? Or just like, I'm just gonna learn coding?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I knew some of it from MySpace times, so I kind of remember that, but actually it's changed a lot. The codings aren't the same, they update them. So a lot of that wasn't even the same, but like, yeah, looked at it and figured it out, and then whatever I didn't know, I Googled.
I love that, you know,
honestly.
because you just do it yourself. If you don't know how to do something, there are resources online. There are your libraries.
That's what
there are people that you know.
Internet
Exactly.
has come to. Like, you can get on the internet and you can figure out anything.
No excuses now. You know, if you have an idea and you want to do something, go out and do it, you know? You don't have to be the best at everything, but you need to know enough. If you know a little bit of everything, you'll be able to go out there and at least start something and then build an audience and get to the point where you can have other people do it for you if that's what you want to do. I know we talked about TV and film being the new way you wanted to communicate. So where did the idea for Outlandish come from, and how did that, tell me about that story.
The original idea I had was like, it was like a girl and she had roommates, and like it was gonna be like a dating thing, because like I asked my friend, I'm like, what do people want to see? And they're like, people want to see dating, because people can relate to that, right? So it was gonna be just her going on dates with different people, men and women,
right?
And just showing like the awkwardness and the negative but positive aspects of dating. So then I was actually talking to my great friend here, Venk, over the summer, and I had already written some stuff, but I wanted it to be like different. Like, okay, what have people not seen before? And people haven't seen a woman who is black and who is bisexual, meaning she is 3 minorities that are oppressed.
Yes.
Because you in film, like if you watch LGBT series, you see all white people usually, to be honest. And then if you see any women's series, like Girls, for instance, you see pretty much all white women.
Yeah.
And then when you see black things, you don't really see any gay or LGBT characters. So
why is that important to you?
Because
why is the bisexual important to you?
All right, let me break it down.
Break it down, please. First of all, people are saying that bisexual ain't even a thing. Like, you just got to figure out, are you gay or straight?
No,
and then that's
really
it.
though, I literally had the conversation with someone the day before yesterday.
Right.
And he said that he doesn't think bisexual is a thing.
So what is that?
So that's the issue. Like, people don't realize that, like, especially with not even really with women as much as with men. Like, if you can't like both. Like, you're either
categories,
like,
right?
Yeah, you're either, because we live in a binary society where we think
one or
everything's
zero.
You're either black or white, you're either gay or straight, you're either, there is no room for gray area.
Right.
And that's just how we are as a society.
Yeah,
so,
that's interesting.
So liking both is kind of like mind blowing to people. Like, people don't think that can be possible.
Right.
And
so I think it's great that you're doing this, and I want to ask a couple of things just for the viewers out there who maybe have an idea themselves that they want to start up. How did you practically make this thing happen? Because you can have an idea, great. You can have you can want to act in it, great. You can have a script, great. But how do you actually make the thing?
I mean, I can get into the specifics of how to do it, but like before all of that, you're gonna like have all these ideas, and you're gonna bring them to people. You're gonna be like, yeah, I have this thing that I want to do, and they're not gonna be down for it. I'm just let you know that now.
Boom.
They're gonna be like, they're like, oh, that's cool, but they're not. You could be like, can you want to join me on this thing? Nobody's gonna be as passionate about it as you are.
Yeah, that's true.
And so you can't let that deter you. You can't wait for someone to tell you, yeah, you should do this. You just gotta do it yourself. You have to make the first steps before anyone else will get on board with you. You have to start pushing the wagon before anyone hops on.
That's so great.
To me, it might not be better, depending on how much money you have. Like, if you have a lot of money to spend on Facebook, then obviously, it's gonna be beneficial. But like, put it in Facebook groups. Put it in Facebook groups.
That's a good idea.
Like, join some groups that are like film groups or something, because like I put it in a Facebook group and like people were commenting like, do you need crew members? Like, where can I put in my resume? Like, people
wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, put those in.
Have an audience in mind, you know, and I think that's what's great is your audience is so specific. Yeah. And it really is niche.
But actually, it's been like 50-50.
50-50.
Because I've looked at the analytics on YouTube, and it's like
analytics, by the way. You say the word right.
Analytics.
Analytics.
I think it's analytics. I don't think it matters.
It doesn't matter. Okay, so let's wrap it up here. So I want to ask one last question. So, who are some of your heroes? Who are some of your people that you look up to, and just to get an idea of why? Where does this passion come from?
Well, right now I'm just in love with Issa Rae, which should be obvious.
Absolutely.
She started out on YouTube.
Started out creating a web series, Awkward Black Girl.
She was in it. She's like on HBO now, and she just got nominated for a Golden Globe.
It's incredible. Like, it really is, yeah.
And she was just on YouTube like me,
right.
you know?
Right.
So she's obviously the biggest inspiration to me because of, like, that's literally the direction,
path, the way to go
that I'm trying to go, and
right.
I just love her.
Thank you so much for doing this, Ariel. Really appreciate
No
it. You guys can
problem.
check out the web series Outlandish. You guys have to see it. It's hilarious. More episodes coming soon. Stay tuned, guys. Signing off.
Peace.